welcome to the Politics of HollyWeird. I'm your host and Liberty Nation's national correspondent, Kelli Ballard. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the soap opera that is the Olympic Games and also the January 6th House Select Committee and their performance awards. After being postponed a year because of the pandemic, the Olympics are finally taking place, but they're not getting off to a great start. First, no spectators allowed. COVID rules again, which means no cheering crowds to boost athlete spirits. And then next, just a day before the event is set to begin, the director of the Olympics was fired. Apparently, in 1998, he had a comedy act in a comedy show called Let's Play Holocaust. That did not go over so well. The rocky start to the Olympics continued. A Korean broadcasting network ended up apologizing for its totally inappropriate graphics during the opening ceremony. The idea was to put images next to athletes as they were introduced to make it easier for the audience to recognize which country they were representing. So, what were these totally inappropriate graphics? How about using a picture of Chernobyl to introduce Ukraine, a pizza for Italy, and a picture of Bitcoin for El Salvador? Haitian athletes got the caption, "The political situation is fogged by the assassination of the president." Obviously, viewers were offended, not to mention some athletes as well. NBC apologized and removed the images, but the damage was done. What were they thinking? Chernobyl? Really? And then to continue on with more Olympic soap opera events, the BBC's Olympic commentators, Ed Lee and Mark Churchill, were next on the chopping block. Whether it was from a mistake or on purpose, they did not call a non-binary athlete by their gender pronoun preference. Team USA's Alana Smith reportedly had they and them written twice on her skateboard for the women's street skateboarding semifinals. The athlete also wore a pronoun pin, but Lee and Churchill consistently referred to Alana as she and her. BBC insisted it was an honest mistake, especially during live broadcasts. Other announcers sided with the commentators, saying they didn't notice the gender writing on the board either. While Elena was knocked out of the semifinals, another athlete chose to withdraw from her sport competition. Everyone is talking about gymnast Simone Biles, who chose her mental health well-being over competing in the Olympics. The 24-year-old has been hailed as the greatest of all time in her sport. The pressure got to her though, and she withdrew from the competition, setting the stage for Russia to win the gold medal for the first time in nearly 30 years. Biles said, "We also have to focus on ourselves because at the end of the day, we're human too. So we have to protect our mind and our body rather than just go out there and do what the world wants us to do." On Monday, July 26th, the athlete posted on social media that she felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. This was said after she had a less than perfect qualifying that gave the Russians a better shot at the medal. When it came time for her vault performance, Biles didn't do the intended routine, further damaging the USA team's score. She finished the routine, hugged her teammates, and then withdrew from the competition. Critics were appalled that someone could drop out or would drop out of the Olympic Games because they couldn't handle the pressure. But Biles said, "And you know, there's more to life than just gymnastics." The January 6th House Select Committee held its first meeting on July 27th. Most of it was emotional testimony, especially by police officers. Fox News' Laura Ingraham decided to give out mock Best Performance awards during the Ingraham Angle, suggesting those testifying were being overly dramatic. She said Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn gave the best political performance, while Officer Michael Fanone gave the best action performance. She did not receive the best feedback, even from Republicans. such as Joe Walsh, representative from Illinois. He wrote on Twitter, "We've always had a choice. We can attack those who attacked our democracy that day, or we can attack those who defended our democracy that day." Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, and so many others chose the latter. Despicable. Britney Spears may be getting some political help. During recent testimony, the pop star said she wanted to get the IUD birth control device removed because she wanted to get married and have children. Republican Representative from South Carolina, Nancy Mace, took issue with that problem, and she told the Daily Mail this: "One of the other things that upset me about it was the IUD issue, being forced to be put on birth control. An IUD that's so invasive inside your body, preventing you from having kids, that's something that communist China does, not something the United States of America does. It's truly a nightmare. If it can happen to her, it can happen to anyone." Mace and several more bipartisan lawmakers have co-sponsored legislation to help those in Britney's situation. If passed, it would allocate $250 million to provide caseworkers. It would also allow Spears and others to petition a judge or a court to request for a public guardian, Mace said. Someone, perhaps, who doesn't have any conflict of interest, financial or otherwise, in this case. That's it for this episode of HollyWeird. Be sure to visit LibertyNation.com for more episodes and intriguing stories from the LN staff. Until next time.